Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk and welcome back to another Shep Talk movie review. Before we get into that review though, a couple admin notes. If you haven't done so already, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It does help this channel out greatly, and I do truly appreciate it. But if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and where I'm doing, and what I'm playing, I have all the social medias, so the links will be down there in the description down below. Hit those follow buttons and stay up to date. Now, let's get on to my review of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was directed by Christopher McQuarrie and was written by Christopher McQuarrie, Bruce Geller, and Eric Jenderson. Stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, Rebecca Ferguson as Isla Faust, Haley Atwell as Grace, Palm Clementif as Paris, and Simon Pegg as Benji. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 has a runtime of 2 hours and 43 minutes. Quick synopsis. Two mysterious keys have surfaced in the world that hold the key to a new AI program that has gone rogue, and only the IMF can track down the keys to stop the program from destroying all the electronic information. And staying that quick synopsis, did Tom Cruise and co have like some foresight into what was going to be happening when this movie released? Because AI has blown up everywhere. It is like one of the #1 topics going on right now about what is AI, how to control AI, and what exactly should we allow AI to do. This movie really hits home on that front because it shows just how dangerous a self-learning program can really be if left unfiltered and uncontrolled. And speaking about AI, this is one thing that this movie hits on the head. How can you fight something that can run simulations thousands upon thousands of times in a matter of seconds and come out winning? It is something that you have to determine. This thing has access to anything that's connected to the internet, which in this day and age is pretty much anything. It has access to all information that you have, even if you're trying to hide it. In this movie, it says it can move through the intelligence community without stumbling, without having any kind of downtime. So, and it can then alter the information where it looks like it has not been altered and give you that false narrative. So it is very hard to fight something that is pretty much almost all-knowing unless you go to an analog stage or you don't have any electronics around. And again, this is Mission Impossible. We've come to expect action scenes. We've come to expect these big action scenes. We've come to expect Tom Cruise doing at least one silly, crazy stunt that he doesn't want his stunt people to do. He wants to do it on his own. He's done them for, I think, almost every Mission Impossible, at least as soon as he started taking over the director, not the director, but the production rights of the production company of this thing. So it hits it out of the park. It really does. But I will say, and this is kind of one of my critiques about this movie, is that it has a runtime of 2 hours and 43 minutes. And some of that is because these action scenes just seem to drag out a little too much, for me at least. They seem to last about 15 to 20 minutes, like per action scene. And, sorry if you can hear cotton. And while they're good, sooner or later they seem to get long in the tooth. And I think one of those reasons as well is why that action scene is taking so long is because it seems like they're trying to inject more comedy into this franchise. And yes, a lot of this comedy does hit, but it just seems like it is just added to be added, and it could have been done away with, cut out, edited, something, I don't know. Again, it's another factor of why this movie has a long runtime and where I think it could have definitely been trimmed down some. And can we give it up to Palm Clementif? I don't know if I'm saying her name right. But even as a minor character, secondary character, she, in my point, killed it. I loved watching her on screen. I thought she had some great charisma. I thought she had some good action scenes. It was definitely better or greater seeing her outside of, Guardians of the Galaxy as the character we've seen her for in a long time. One of the things I think Mission Impossible is good at and really good at is trying to keep you on your toes. And they still do that in here. There are so many twists and turns that you don't know who the bad guy is or who is helping the bad guy or what people's motives are. Are they in it for themselves? Are they in it for the government? Are they in it for some other reason? there are some very good twists and turns, and even though you kind of can see them coming once the plot has been revealed or once that scene is starting to take place, it gets you. At least it gets me, okay? So I think that is one thing that Mission Impossible does well with their action scenes and keeping you on your toes, guessing who is really who and what are they really after. There is I don't know if I want to call it, I guess it's kind of like a side story in this movie with this United States military unit that is being sent after Ethan Hunt and his IMF team. I can't even remember why, because I think they say that they go rogue all the time, so we want to make sure that they're doing their job or to bring them in and whatever XYZ. And really, I think it is a waste of time. I don't think they really bring anything into this movie. Again, with a movie this long, I think that story could have been cut out and we wouldn't have had any issue with it whatsoever. I think one of the reasons they did it is because I think the leader of this unit has been in a previous Mission Impossible movie, and Ethan and him have had some kind of conflict. But again, I didn't really remember that actor or that character, so I was just like, okay, great. You showed up once again when something needs to be done or something needs to happen, or you're trying to push the characters along. Didn't need to be there. And then what's probably going to be my most unpopular opinion, though, is Haley Atwell's character. I don't really think she was needed for this movie. I know some people have enjoyed it, and don't get me wrong, she does a good performance. She does her job well in this movie, and she can act. Nothing saying she can't. But I really think this seems like a handoff that one other character wanted to maybe lead the franchise, or they wanted her out of the franchise for some reason. Don't know. And they brought in Haley and her character. And it just seemed like her introduction, I think, was like the first hour of this movie. And it just really slowed down the pacing for this movie again. Again, with a movie that is 2 hours and 43 minutes, there was a lot of fluff in this movie. And I think her character really, unless it was because a certain other character had to be written out or wanted to be gone, there was really no reason to bring her in. I think you could have also, if you needed to bring her in, sped up her introduction. She didn't need like an hour introduction. And then this is a gripe that or a complaint I'm going to bring up, but I think you could bring it up with any franchise that has lasted fucking 10 plus seasons or movies, 10 plus years, whatever, is that there are so many characters, so many storylines, so much history in these franchises that if you're expecting me to remember someone that was in the third movie or the fourth movie or even the first movie, I don't go back and watch these movies regularly. I enjoy these movies, and maybe sometimes I'll think about watching these movies again, but I just don't have the time to go back and watch 6 or 7 movies to catch up on what is happening or going to happen in this movie. And so when you have these reoccurring characters, not even reoccurring characters, but these characters that come back 6 or 7 years later, and I'm going to be like, that face looks familiar, I think they've been around somewhere, it just doesn't do it, it's like, but that's it. So to me, it doesn't really have any impact. I was like, okay, it happened, there we are. Overall, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is a fun blockbuster movie. It delivers on what we expect from a Mission Impossible movie. Great action, crazy stunt from Tom Cruise. The ensemble cast is always good. They have such good chemistry because they've been doing it for so long. The story, I think, was really well done. I think having that AI be like the evil villain for this movie is kind of interesting and a good take, especially in this day and age right now with what's going on with AI. So I enjoyed all that. I just think that there was too much fluff in this movie, too many side characters and side stories in this movie. If they would have trimmed this back, even make it, like a 2-hour movie. I think you could have made this into a 2-hour movie and it would have been perfectly fine, and then gotten us into part 2. But guys, that is all I have time for today. And and with all that being said, Shep Talk is going to give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 3 Sheps out of 5. Have you seen the new Mission Impossible movie? Let me know down in the comments, what did you think? Are you a fan of the Mission Impossible movies? Are you just going to go see it because it's the latest movie of the week? Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy what you saw here today, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel out greatly, and I do truly appreciate it. But this is Darth Shep, signing off.